Namaste, Aunty. Once again, welcome everyone. We are right on time. We have our amazing Uma Aunty here with all of us. Today is our fourth session in Heartful Living series, and the topic is Detox Technique to Release Fear and Anger. Once again, please join me in welcoming our sister, Mrs. Uma Mullapudi. Sister Uma has been practicing heartfulness meditation for approximately 40 years. She is a dynamic and engaging speaker who has presented heartfulness to several organizations and schools in the Midwest. Sister Uma is currently serving as the regional heartfulness coordinator for the entire North America. She is honored to share her deep love of heartfulness practice with all of us today. With that, over to you, Uma Aunty.
Thank you. Greetings to everybody. We are on this journey of trying to understand the heartfulness practices and the depth of the practices and how significant each and every practice is to bring about the true transformation in us. We are all striving for perfection, striving to move to that state of being praised by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, known as Sthita Prajna. Sometimes we are successful. There are moments that we are not successful. Most of the time we are balanced. There are some times that something triggers in us. We want to be balanced, but we cannot be balanced. And that brings us to that statement of the evil character in the Mahabharata. He says that I know what is right, I'm unable to do it. I know what is wrong, I'm unable to stop myself from reacting such a way. And that goes with all of us. There are certain situations, certain moments, you cannot stop the way you react to things. And they all come up from time to time. I've been meditating for almost 49 years. This December it'll be 50 years. But there are moments, sometimes some things trigger in me that I have no control. So in those moments, sometimes we are able to pass that moment. Sometimes we struggle through that moment. And when we struggle through the moment, the consequences we have to bear. Why is that we want to be emotionally stable? Why is that we want to not be scared or not have fear? Because in those moments of fear and emotional instability, the way we react to situations creates a certain pattern, changes our destiny, creates consequences in our lives, which we can change. And the moment when we react, the consequences are there, and we have to face the consequences, and we have to work harder to change those consequences. That is where we all get into the states of disturbance. That is why this state of being of Sthita Prajna is known as the essence of Bhagavad Gita, according to Daji, and this state of Sthita Prajna, he says it skill in action, struggle for self-mastery, which leads the being to a state of selfless service. So this skill in action is what is missing in us. If I am able to be emotionally stable under all circumstances, my action is always perfect. I don't even act, I am. Because of the weakness of this emotional stability or intense fears, my performance is affected, so my action is not skillful. This is what we notice, all of us every one of us, with no exception, where do we struggle is we struggle with our interpersonal relationships, with friends, with families, with everybody in the world. And that happens because of the vibratory disturbance that happens inside our being. Why am I reacting with anger? Like, why does my body get sick? My body is made up of the elements, all the 5 elements: earth, ether, fire, water, air. That is the science of Ayurveda, is when those become imbalanced, your body succumbs to sickness. Same way in our energy field, we have all the elements, and when those elements are disturbed, our emotional state is disturbed, our mind is disturbed. Because we have the physical body, we have the energy body, and the absolute. Physical body is governed by the elements in the physical system. Something is off in these elements in the physical body, your physical body gets sick. The elements that exist in the vibratory field, when they get disturbed, your mind gets disturbed. Like how body gets disturbed, your mind gets disturbed. And when that mind gets disturbed, that disturbance affects the behavior of the body, because body is being supported by this energy field. And that affects the behavior of the body, the way you are thinking, and that creates disturbance in our relationship, in our external world. This we all experience, however much we practice. So how do we refine ourselves? What are the elements that are causing this disturbance? We learned in the first few classes, when the earth element is disturbed, we lose our balance. The moment that balance is lost, that effect is on the next element, which is the ether element, and you become disturbed. You are not peaceful. And that lack of peace triggers the fire element, creates disturbance in the fire element. You succumb to emotional disturbance. And when that gets in, that emotional disturbance is like, if air comes, that fire becomes ignited. So when that emotional disturbance happens in you, either outside people or your own thoughts add fuel to it. Instead of pouring water and turning the fire off, they add fuel to it with their thoughts, their thinking, their words. Then your anger triggers. It goes peak. And when that anger is at the peak, that disturbs your water element. And water element, when it is stable, it is power. Out of it comes power. It's like even engines. Water is very powerful. Steam is powerful. And when that water boils with this heat in our element, what happens? We are off. What happens? We lose complete balance, where fear is triggered in us. Fear is always there, because when we came from the center, we were separated. So fear never goes away. See, all these elements, when we are saying detox, don't like the word detox. When these elements, when they are in balance, they make the being into a stronger being. It is just that you have to refine their existence and utilize them for ascension. So when water elements is disturbed, your mind is heated up, you lose balance, there you fall apart, and your actions are wrong, because your thoughts are wrong, and your destiny changes. Your interrelationship with people changes, your reactions change, your peace changes. So in spiritual path, what are we doing? We're observing all this in patterns inside ourselves. Only we know it. Some people act very balanced outside, but inside they're boiling. They're disturbed. They're depressed. Sometimes they're not even aware, because it becomes a part of their life. So heartfulness prescribes certain practices that you use regularly. It is not that when I'm using this technique to refine the field of anger, oh, this is a weakness. She's using anger technique because she's feeling angry. No, it is a maintenance, because even the masters at one moment get angry and it can cause destruction. That is why when as you climb higher in spiritual field, they try to remain balanced, because even if their anger is a legitimate anger, it can destroy the other being because they're so powerful. That is why people stayed away from a Durvasa or a Vishwamitra or all the great sages. Because when you didn't do the right thing and if it unnecessarily triggered something, and there is a negative reaction from them. So, what Babaji Maharaj and our masters have done is they have given a method, a system where you regularly practice it and you maintain this element inside yourself. I do at least once a week, I do the anger detox. When I was young, I used to do fear detox and anger fear detox was my go to, because it is not really fear detox. It is purifying every cell, every atom, every blood drop, every nerve, every cell in your being with that technique, a very powerful technique, that by the end of it, you are so purified, you feel so light and you feel so clear. Same thing with this anger detox. In Babaji's time, when this technique was given, it was given as a regular evening cleansing for me. When I first started in 1977, the cleansing given was this technique that we are using today as the ocean of bliss technique. The ocean of bliss is flowing into you and it is releasing all the impurities from your system, and every cell is being purified and you are coming to a state of balance. So Babaji made it a norm so people can utilize it day after day, and because we all need it. We all need this maintenance. Your car needs maintenance, your house needs maintenance, your body needs maintenance with exercises. Your mind needs maintenance with certain techniques to keep it in a state of balance so you can utilize the efficacy of the mind. A mind is the most efficient tool the human being has got. And if it is utilized properly, it can do miracles. But when it is imbalanced by these inner turmoils of the elements, then our performance in the world is not good. So now I'm going to share my screen to show you these two techniques which are important. And we will today practice the so-called fear detox, which is refining the water element and thereby refining this field of fear. The fear stems from when we originally came, we separated ourselves from the center. And a speck of it is in the human being. When the baby is separated, the cord is cut from the mother, the baby almost is in a state of fear because, oh, my mom is leaving me. And when the mother is giving it love, so much love, that fire element is intact, then the fear is reduced. The child knows mom is here and goes on playing. These are the effect of the elements on the inner system of the child. So some children are very secure because the mother keeps on giving love, so much love from the heart, that even the mother is not around, they're fine, they're going about doing their business. And if you observe this in heartfulness children, they are very independent, but they know the mother loves them. They don't have to be like, oh, 100,000 times telling, I love you, honey, I love you, honey. Nobody does that. The guru doesn't do, the mothers in heartfulness don't do. But when we are interacting with outside people, the children need so much of reassurance of being told that I love you, I love you, I love you. Because the true feeling of love is not flowing from the mother's heart into the child. And so the child needs reassurance by physical words. So, how does that happen? How does the real love flow? When you yourself are able to maintain that state of being of love because of the practices, then naturally it flows into your child. Naturally, your child is secure, their elements are balanced. That is why Daji once told that when the child is sleeping, don't wake them up suddenly because you are disturbing their subtle bodies. And I used to do that, so I had to repent a lot on that. I used to wake him up in the morning, my son. And nowadays I'm observing If I put the alarm and I'm gone into deep sleep, when it goes on, I'm literally jumping most of the times. But sometimes, I have a schedule, I have to keep it on, so I keep it on, but it does definitely disturb me. So this maintaining this inner frequency of the elements in the body is what the practice helps. Practice, the meditation practice, the cleaning practice, the remembrance practice, the repentance practice, all the techniques that we use is basically maintaining your inner equilibrium. So your performance is good. So let me share my screen. So we will go through this fear and anger detoxes. Okay. So in this session, I didn't want to call it fear detox or anger detox. I wanted to use the term refining the qualities of courage and emotional balance. So we will be talking about working on the fire element to refine the emotion of the instability of the emotion and bringing it to a state of stability. And we will talk about working on the water element, the technique to refine the quality of courage. So in the traditional chakra system, we have all these Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya, and Sahasra chakras. And in the heartfulness way, we have these chakras are basically vibratory fields. And this vibratory field, when it is disturbed, it creates a result. So these are in the back of the spine. They do exist. But I mentioned this to you in the previous classes where Babuji, he invented a new method because ascending through these spinal chakras, because the power flow from above is so strong, people were not able to ascend high, and most of them were very stuck. And that is why Durvasa was succumbed to anger so much. He swallowed it so much that he could not get out. And Vishwamitra could not cross the passion point at point 7. So the great masters have been doing research in this field for so long. And finally, the great scientist Babaji Maharaj invented a new method where it is like a bypass road. You go through the heart region. In that heart region, the same chakras also exist. The first one is the earth element. The second one is the ether element. The third is the fire element. And the fourth point is the water element. And fifth is the air element. And we have the rest of the chakras in the mind region, 7. And in the back, we have godly region is 11 and 12. And central region is the 13. So this is just for you to have an idea, because third point is the upper left side of your chest, which is the fire point. And when that area gets disturbed, when that vibratory field gets disturbed because of the imbalance and the thought pattern, you succumb to anger. And anger comes from fire. So how do you stop anger? You pour water. If you keep thinking, when you are in this mood of anger, it just intensifies it. So immediately when you are going through an emotional disturbance and anger, the best thing to do is at least for 10-15 minutes, do this cleansing technique. So that refines the emotion and it brings you to stability. So how do you do this technique to reduce the anger, the ocean of bliss? It is called blue light technique. So you literally visualize the ocean colored with blue light is entering into your heart. The first step in any cleansing technique or meditation is to connect the heart to the heart of the guide, the living guide. If somebody is new and they don't know the master, the living master, and they are not comfortable, they can make this intention saying that my heart is connected to the highest consciousness present on the earth plane, which is connected to the ultimate source. The purpose of connecting to the guide's heart is he has the highest consciousness that is on the earth plane. When you are able to connect to that consciousness, it is like dipping your mind into that absolute mind of the highest consciousness. Your mind calms down. It's like putting a dirty cloth in the water. The cloth is purified. So that is the nature. So the nature of the highest consciousness is to purify anything that dips in it. That is the reason the very first step in any cleansing technique is my heart is connected. Simple way, connected to the guru's heart, the guide's heart. Or if you're not comfortable, it's connected to the highest consciousness present on the earth plane, which is in turn connected to the ultimate source. And then you make this intention. The ocean of bliss filled with the blue current is flowing into my heart from this consciousness. And as it is flowing inside me, it is removing all the impurities. It is removing all the impurities of my system. In terms, you can say, thou art the ocean of bliss. I am seated in it. Waves from thy ocean are passing through me, removing all the impurities, complexities, grossness, and heaviness. And allow this ocean of bliss carrying the blue current, allow it to flow into the lower left side of your chest and thoroughly purify the lower left side. And then allow it to purify the lower right side of your chest. And then allow it to flow into the upper left side of your chest. When it is going through the upper left side of your chest, make the intention that it is going into the depth of this third point area. It's like it is entering into your emotional body and releasing the emotion. It is entering into your pain body and releasing the pain. Because we are creating layers and layers because of this disturbance, where you have creating a pond of emotion there, a pond filled with pain. So you are allowing this ocean of bliss carrying with the blue current flowing into the upper left side, penetrating into the depths of that upper left side, touching the pain body, touching the emotion body, and releasing everything, and it is taking it out from your system. And then allow it to flow into the upper right side of your chest and finish it. And then at the end, feel that you are completely submerged in this ocean of bliss. And as it is flowing through you, your entire system is becoming crystal clear. Every cell, every nerve, every speck of your being is being purified. Anger is released, and the point is coming to a state of balance. Cleaning is complete. That is how you would do the ocean of bliss blue light cleansing technique. And if you did this for 20 minutes, and if you do it once a week, you should just practice it. So what happens is when you practice it once a week, it gets automated for you. And when you are in those situations that are triggering, if you sit down and do it, you handle it little better. It's like you're already, the anger is firing up. Instead of it becoming a big flame, you're pouring water onto it and making it small. So the effect is not bad. So regarding the fear element, everybody has fear because of different reasons, because impressions, certain situations happen and you have that impression inside you. And every time something similar situation is there, you react with fear. Because when your mother dies, you cry because you were separated at birth. That fear inside you is there. So when your mother dies, you are scared, how am I going to live? But every child that lost a mother survived, lived fine. But it is that impression that is there that makes us react in certain way. So like this, we have created so many impressions. Say I have lost a job before, and some situation of imbalance is there. I am scared. The fear is there that, oh, I'm going to lose the job. Oh, what's going to happen? How am I going to support? When we do this fear detox or cleansing of this element, what happens is you move to that state of balance. And when you move to that state of balance, instead of being overwhelmed by fear, because you are balanced, you are thinking of what steps to take next. What can I do? Because He who created us will take care of us. If we look back into our life, there were so many bad situations that happened, but we always survived. Somewhere, somehow, help comes. So that confidence, that is faith, that is courage. What can go wrong? Yeah, I will lose a job, but I will find something will happen. But more than the suffering, we suffer out of fear. More than the suffering of losing the mother, you suffer from the thought of losing the mother. The thought of losing your spouse kills you rather than the situation. So when we practice this kind of fear detox once a week, what happens is that when that element is subdued and in its own balanced, refined state, you are able to think clearly. And this is probably the most important cleansing technique that heartfulness offers. And in this, the technique goes like where you would draw the current to the top of your head and then connect it to the source, and then you allow that current to come down. Why is that? Because water element is very powerful, and water's power exists in when it is descending. Fire's power exists in when it is ascending. Fire, in any way you put the candle, lights up. Its nature is to ascend. Water is like it is in the hilltop and it falls down, and in that fall there is power. So that is why when we are cleansing the water technique, we try to take the power out of our heart to the top of our head. We will talk about the technique now, and you know why we do that. So first step is, this is also known as top to bottom limb cleaning, or top to bottom cleaning, or fear detox cleaning. Or so the first step again is my heart is connected to the Guru's heart, or to the highest consciousness present on the earth plane, which is connected to the ultimate source. So this divine current from the Guru's consciousness is flowing into my heart. That is the first step. And this current from your heart, now you are taking it up to the top of your head. From the heart, the current of light is flowing to the physical top of your head, just 6 inches above the head. You are creating a field, and your light from your heart is supporting the field. And this light on the head is in turn connected to the source above. This is the sankalpa you made. In any spiritual cleansing or work or anything you do, it is not that you are doing something. You are just making a thought. You are making an intention. It is like you planning, want to go to a movie Friday night. So you make a plan. Okay, I am going to this particular movie. And then everything falls into place. Then you book the tickets. On Friday, it's 5 o'clock, you have an alarm, and then you say, okay, we have to go. We get dressed up, and you go. So everything, all that happened because you have made an intention, a sankalpa as it is called, to go to the movie on Friday evening. That is all sankalpa is. Here also, you sit down, you make an intention. My heart is connected to the highest consciousness that's on the earth plane, which is my Guru's heart. And the light is flowing into my heart from his heart. And this light from my heart is flowing up to the top of my head, 6 inches above my head, where I have created a field. And this field is also being supported from the light in my heart and from the light from the source. So it is a double effect. So then what you do, you bring down this divine current into your head from the left side of your head, because heart is on the left side. So you always begin the work on the left side, and you allow this light to flow into your head, into your face, into your neck, into your shoulders, and it enters into the left side. It enters the left side where the fire point is, and it comes down and it goes again back into the fire point area, and it releases from your shoulder and hands, and you feel the vibration in the tips of your fingers. And the second time you repeat again, you begin with the top of the head, you feel the connection and allow this current again to flow, and it's going on the left side again, and this time you will allow it to go down into your torso, into your legs, and it is leaving the body from the tips of your toes on the left side. So it's entirely purifying. When I do the guided, you will understand this more. The third step is again bringing the light to the top of the head, which is connected to the source above, and bringing it to the right side. And as it is entering into this fourth point where the fear is, you allow that current to penetrate into the pain body, the emotion body, where you are storing so much of fear, and it's releasing it and allow it to come down. And then first step is to let it go through your right hand and leaving through the fingertips. And the last step is you will allow it to go through the entire body, and it will leave from the tip of your toes. And as it is leaving, the one last step you will do is you will simply focus on the tip of the right toe and feel that all the thought currents, this disturbing thought currents, are leaving me from here. Because the tip of that right toe is directly connected to the mind lake, the chit lake, which we talked about in the first class. So by making that simple sankalpa, that the tip of the toe, that all the thoughts are released, you automatically calm down first. When we calm down, we don't have that panic attack, we don't have that fear. When you clean that right toe, the fear is gone. So this is how the technique is. And at the end, you make the sankalpa, my entire system is crystal clear. All the chakras and the points are in a state of absolute balance, and they are in harmony with each other. It's like when elements fight with each other, there is disturbance in the nature outside. All these thunders and storms and everything is disturbance in the external. Here also, if the inner elements are in disturbed, and if they are not in harmony, you are not in harmony. So the sankalpa here, the intention you would make is all the chakras are in a state of absolute balance, and all the elements are in harmony with each other. So this is how you would do the clear detox technique. So what I would like to do is, the ocean of bliss technique is very simple. We will send you the previous recording so you can practice it. We will do the fear detox technique today, so you can actually experience and know how to do it. And the best way is to at least try doing it once a week. There were times in my life I used to do 2 times, 3 times, because that would simply purify me. And then I would restore my balance immediately. And also, what happens is that will make me experience my condition better. So let us now practice this.